back to another episode of the Sports Nest Podcast. My name's Peyton.
I'm Will.
And today we have another great episode. So you've been hooping it all this week? You've been keeping up with hoops? What you been doing?
Man. I've been keeping up with all the conference tournaments going on, and I've been, playing basketball Fridays and Sundays. We're going tonight too, actually, but you're coming tonight too, bro.
At 10. And we have a little change of scenery, you see.
Yep.
Producers back there coughing for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, we have a little change of scenery. Fraternity flag right there. So we're excited to get this episode pumping. And we actually have a special announcement.
Yep. We got ourselves a guest today. His name's Ty. He's one of our fraternity brothers. We're really excited to have him on. So, Ty, why don't you come on over?
Mr. Ty Fansler, step up.
Have a seat.
Yeah. What up? How we doing?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. I appreciate y'all boys having me on.
Yeah, you know ball like that?
I hope so. I know ball like that. I think so.
You're going to get quizzed a little day.
All right, we'll see how I do.
You're going to get quizzed. So
I'm honored, though. I just want to say, boys, I'm honored to be the first ever guest on this podcast.
Yeah. First ever guest. He flocked to the nest. I love it.
One day I'm going to look back at this, and it's going to be a great accomplishment.
So first thing we want to talk about is Gonzaga last night beating St. Mary's in an upset in their conference tournament. How are you feeling about that?
Man, the Zags, they looked good, man. That's y'all said on previous episodes about how UConn, they're going to get like an 8 seed. That's a scary 8 seed. I feel the same way about Gonzaga. They're going to get 7, 8 seed probably, but
yeah.
That's a scary team to play second round of the tournament, man.
It is. Gonzaga's a dang good team. They have Andrew Nembhard's younger brother who leads the country in assists. He leads it with 10. That was a huge upset for him last night. St. Mary's is a very good team. They were number one in their conference. Many people expected them to win this game, but Gonzaga ended up pulling it out.
Yeah, Nembhard's probably one of the best point guards in the country. He's very good with the basketball. He's probably the best dribbler I've seen on the court in the country. And Battle played really well, too. He was really good on defense. He's very gritty. And Huff, another starter, their big man, he played really well also. He had like 18 points. Bench-wise, Gonzaga's a pretty solid team. I'm honestly surprised they won the game, to be fair, because St. Mary's is a good team.
Yeah, 100%. If I'm a 1 seed, I do not want to see them in the second round. I know that. They're an 8 seed. Teams like Tennessee should be scared. Houston, not so much, I don't think.
Yeah.
Florida, my boys, chomp. I would be a little nervous to face Gonzaga around them. So hopefully those teams don't run into Gonzaga because they're a hot team going into this tournament. I mean, they just won, 4 straight games to win this tournament?
Yeah, man. Gonzaga's a very good team. They always make the tournament, too, and they have such a good coach, lots of experience. And, Ty, what do you think? Do you think St. Mary's kind of underperformed today, or do you think Gonzaga's just that good?
I do think they underperformed a little bit. I picked them to win going into the game. But it's also, the Zags in March, they're always going to perform. Mark Few, he hasn't won a natty, but they always play well in the tournament. They're always in the Sweet 16, Elite 8, whatever. So I'm not that surprised that they won.
Yeah, we're talking about the Zags, but you also got to think how a loss like this is going to derail St. Mary's as well. I might choose them as a first-round exit. They're already going to be underdogs anyways. I know they were a 19 seed in the country, but I might choose for them to lose in the first round just because a loss like this, it just hurts the team overall. Hurts them going to a tournament, but if they win that game, I could have seen them going on like one of those Elite 8 runs that a team could have made. So I don't know how that's going to affect them. I just know the Zags are going to a tournament hot, and teams need to look out for them.
Yeah, I feel like, I agree with you, but I think there's another viewpoint to this too. They just lost to Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference title game. So, they're going to be extra motivated in the tournament to do really well. We saw this with Clemson last year especially. They got knocked out early in the ACC tournament. And it was like a wake-up call.
Nah.
What?
St. Mary's first round exit. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. First round exit.
I personally think it might be a little bit. I don't think they're going to go far in the tournament. I could see them getting knocked out in the round of 32. But I think for a lot of teams losing in their conference tournaments, I think it's a wake-up call. Yeah, especially SEC teams.
I do agree with that. So yeah, good for the Zags last night. Congrats to them. Can't wait to see what they do. I think it's going to be a dang good run for them, honestly.
Yeah.
So next thing we want to talk about is a little bit of a Cinderella story, actually. St. Francis won their conference last night. In the regular season, they were 16-17. Now they're dancing in March Madness. How y'all boys feel about that?
I don't know, man. It's just the whole story of March, bro. You got some crazy upsets and teams you don't expect to go end up making the tournament. So I'm really excited. Ty, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man, just a potential another Cinderella story in March. Probably not, because they only won with 16 games. It's still great to see, though. That's what you love about these non-power four conference tournaments, is really anything can happen. And good for these boys that punching their ticket to the tournament.
Yeah, this type of game kind of reminded me, or this type of team kind of reminded me of Oakland last year with the sharpshooter himself, Jack Golke. But yeah, good for these boys. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've never heard of them before. I mean, going into this year, of course, they're not talked about at all. They're 16 and 17. But now, hey, this is what the beauty about March is a team like this getting to go to the big games and has a chance theoretically to win a national championship.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no better time like it. It's the best time of all in sports. And I mean, this just shows it right here. It's a prime example.
Yeah, so to give a little bit of context about St. Francis, they're 16 and 17.
Dude, they beat the Blue Devils.
They beat Central Connecticut. Yeah, they beat Duke. Yeah, they beat the Central Connecticut Blue Devils. They were 25 and 7, 14 and 2 in the Northeastern Conference. So they were probably, shout out Connecticut.
Yeah, production crews from Connecticut.
Yeah, so they were probably favored to win this game and punch their ticket to March Madness. But St. Francis comes in and pulls off the upset, and we almost saw. Who was it? Delaware do the same thing. They were like 12 and 19 and went in and almost won the whole.
Yeah, Delaware
whole
faced UNC Wilmington last night.
Yeah.
Who was the second best team in their conference and end up losing by 4. But it was a great run by them. They started out in the first round and went all the way to the end. So it was a good fight by them boys, but they couldn't finish it off. Not a Cinderella story like we were going to see. But congrats to UNC Wilmington, another North Carolina team in the tournament. But we've about had 2 Cinderella teams in the past 2 days make the tournament. I think that just means more madness is coming, man.
Yeah, man. I think with this tournament especially, anyone can win. I feel like there's like so much parity, especially in the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, all the conferences really. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Ty?
Yeah, I just want to say, look out for those UNC Wilmington Seahawks, man.
Okay. Let's go, Ty.
Shout out Wilmington. But I could see that as a potential first round game for Clemson. Like, say Clemson gets a 4 seed, UNCW could be in that 13 slot, man. I mean, they had a good season, 27 and 7. I mean, who knows? Maybe they could be one of these 13 seeds that, upsets a good ACC or SEC team first round, like Yale did with Auburn last year. So
yeah, that's a good.
I think this is a solid group, and don't sleep on them.
Yeah, that's a great point. Another team I wanted to point out was Wofford. Last night in their championship game, or 2 nights ago, they shot 50% from 3, which is absolutely insane. I mean, if a team is shooting like that in March, no one's going to stop that. So if they're creating open shots and hitting the contested shots like that, I mean, it's going to be hard to stop anyone like that. But another North Carolina team, so shout out Wofford for making the tournament. And another North Carolina team I'm saying that is making a Sweet 16 is High Point. I cannot wait to see High Point in the tournament. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying they're going to be an early round exit, but Peyton is super high on them.
High Point.
Super high on them. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's going to be do you guys remember, speaking of Wofford, Fletcher McGee? Way back in the day.
I do.
Yeah, he was a bucket, bro. He was a shooter for Wofford.
Fletcher McGee.
Yeah, they
generated name, bro.
Bro, if you don't know who Fletcher McGee is, you're a casual. Bro, he's the guy like the most threes all time in D1.
My fault. Yeah.
He's Jack Golke before Jack Golke.
Okay, all right. So guy on Wall Street before a guy on Wall Street.
I can't remember. Were they a first round exit or did they win a game in the tournament? I can't remember.
They won a game.
I think, yeah.
And then they almost...
Did they lose to Kentucky second round?
It was close, though.
I think I remember that game, yeah. That was like 2019, dude. That was a while ago.
Yeah. I swear, Kentucky always gets upset in the tournament.
They do, bro.
No matter what seed they are.
Last year was Oakland, then St. Peter's. I mean, maybe it's going to repeat itself. I don't know.
I think it might, actually. In my bracket, I might pick against them every game, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Maybe, bro.
All right, we talked about Delaware. Next thing we want to talk about was some games from today. The bigger conferences started playing. SEC tournament started. Yep. ACC tournament started yesterday, but some better games for today.
Yep.
So today, Texas beat Vandy. Vandy was a
Huge win for Texas. They needed
huge
that
win
badly.
Vandy was in last 4 in with a couple of their good wins at the end of the season, but now they're first round exit in the SEC tournament. I think that officially knocks them out. I think them and Texas might switch places from the last 4 in to the first 4 out. It was a very good game. Vandy tried to make a last-second comeback, but Texas ended up ultimately pulling it out.
Yeah, Texas, they're looking really good right now. They just came, beat Vandy in the first round of the SEC tournament, so they're very confident right now. They're last 4 out team right now. They just lost to Oklahoma last game of the regular season. So it's like ride or die for them right now. So they need to keep winning. If they beat Texas A&M, I think you could argue that they should get in the tournament. That's their next game. I don't know. It's hard to say.
We talking about Texas?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough. They're gonna have to win. I think 2 more.
You think so?
I think so. Next game is against A&M.
Yeah, next game against A&M.
Pretty sure. Let me make sure.
That's so tough, man. Because I don't know. Texas is a team don't have a great record, but they are in the SEC, and that conference is just so hard to come by. So.
Yeah, I mean, look at their last
it's
couple
tough.
games. I mean, Texas, they lost to South Carolina, who was the worst in SEC. Lost to Arkansas, and then lost to Oklahoma. I mean,
The rest of their schedules, they've lost to like only tournament teams.
yeah,
So
it's definitely hard to put them in. I honestly think that Vandy losing is a win for UNC. UNC has over 20 wins, and they had a hard out of conference schedule this year. I know they were 1-11 in quad one games, but they did take care of business outside of that. They have some good wins, and that brings us to our next point. UNC destroyed Notre Dame today and is fighting for their lives right now, and I absolutely love it. I think UNC's still a good team. I think they have a good coach, and they're ultimately a blue blood going into the tournament, of course. They're historically good in the tournament. I think that UNC needs to win against Duke. One of Duke, Louisville, or Clemson to get in.
So, UNC versus Wake tomorrow. Would you consider that a potential play-in game with both teams? Wake is like
They're on the
next
fence.
4 out, but still both teams on the bubble.
I do, because, I mean, I consider it as a play-in game because whoever wins that is going to face Duke, and then if you beat Duke, you're in. In my opinion, that's the number 1 team in the country. So if you beat whoever wins that game tomorrow has to play Duke, and so if it just puts you in the tournament, like there's no doubt about it. I mean, whether you lose the championship game or not. So what I always said is UNC going into the tournament, like ACC tournament, was going to have to beat one of Louisville, Clemson, or Duke to make it. And I think you could argue a case if they beat Wake tomorrow, they can still get in.
I honestly think if they beat Wake tomorrow, I think they will sneak in.
Yeah.
Wake, on the other hand, though, has to beat Duke.
The committee glazes Carolina too.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like Carolina, like in Carolina brand. I mean,
They got that Krispy Kreme. They glaze Carolina for real. At first during the middle of the year, I like when they started doing the bracketology stuff. I didn't get how they were the first 4 in, or the last 4 in. Sorry. I just made no sense to me because after the blowout game against Clemson, I'm like, dang, these boys suck.
Yeah, they didn't look very good. But I don't know. I think I saw something saying that North Carolina had to make it to the ACC championship game in order to get in. So I don't know.
Well, who's the last 4 in right now? Not Vanderbilt
Let's pull
anymore.
it up. I have the bracketology right here. So last 4 in is Oklahoma, Indiana, Xavier, and North Carolina is on that list right now.
When was that updated?
And this is updated as of the 11th at 8 p.m.
So
Or the
yesterday.
12th. This is as of
1 hour.
today. Yeah.
Oh, 1 hour ago.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I told you the Vanderbilt game.
No
threaded,
way.
But Vandy.
Look at this. Vanderbilt's not even the last 4 bye, so I think they're confirmed in the tournament.
No way. Actually?
I think so.
they might be.
I think they are.
Dude, that's disgusting.
Yep, they're an 11 seed. They're playing Michigan.
That's terrible. Michigan still might lose that game. They suck.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Vandy's good. I just think Texas is. It's
How
like
is
ride or
Ohio
die. It's
State
ride or
first
die.
4 out?
Like Ohio
hold on.
State.
Ohio State was losing today.
Oh, did they lose?
Let me look.
That's why. That must be why then, right?
What? No, they haven't played yet.
Oh.
Or, like they were playing when this came
Oh,
out.
okay.
Mississippi State killed LSU.
Yeah.
Ohio State lost to Iowa.
They lost to Iowa. Yeah,
they're out.
they're done.
They're done.
Ohio State was on the brink as well, and they just lost to Iowa. You can't do that in the first round, so they're definitely out. But Indiana, I could see getting in. They have an okay resume. Xavier's also on the fence, bro.
I do
It's
want to
another
say I did do my research about Xavier last week when we were talking about them. They are better than I thought they were. Xavier's actually not that bad.
They are pretty good.
They're actually not that bad.
They've beaten Marquette, and they beat them pretty convincingly last time they played. And I think they've beaten Villanova a few times or a couple times, and they're kind of on the fence. They're not on this list, but they were potentially before. I don't really do. What other key wins do they have?
They beat Wake Forest out of conference.
Did they really?
They did, yeah, beginning of the season.
Away?
Like,
Was it neutral site?
I think it was one of those neutral site games at the beginning of the season.
I think
Like
that's a
during
quad
Thanksgiving.
one. Then
Probably.
At the time, it probably
Yeah.
was because Wake was high going into the season.
Yeah, they were.
I also want to talk about y'all. Did y'all see the Pitt? I mean, of course they lost first round, but I mean they were ranked earlier this year, man.
Oh, you talking about the fall off or that foul call at the end?
I'm talking about just the fall off.
Yeah,
of
bro.
Pitt.
The fall off's crazy, and like the worst year ever of the ACC historically.
They finished the year 5-14, I want to say, and they were number 18 in the country at one point. That's just insane to think about. And then they ended up being what, the 13th seed?
Yeah, in the ACC, they were like 8-12 in conference play.
That's awful.
Absolutely
Against like you said, the worst conference year.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long. I mean, it's just crazy. Like to start off that good and just out of nowhere and just off a cliff, man. I mean, that's how their football team did too this year. They were ranked at one point. I mean, it just shows that might be a culture thing, man. Over there,
The story of Pitt sports.
I mean, I thought they had a good team. I mean, they have a good point guard. I always thought Capel was a pretty good coach. So
He's from Duke too.
yeah. So and he's had good teams the past few years that have made tournaments. So I don't know what happened.
What y'all think about Arkansas getting the last four bye?
I think that they deserve to be in that position. They just finish off the season beating Mississippi State. Their whole roster is really coming along. The FAU transfer, I can't remember his name. He's playing really well. DJ Wagner is really taking on the role as being the facilitator of that team. Boogie McFarland, I think, is coming back for the tournament. Yeah, he's tough. I think he's coming back. Not certain. But I think they're in prime position right now to get in the tournament. I mean, they just won today against South Carolina in the SEC tournament, so I think they're fine even if they lose.
Yeah, I like that. Now let me ask y'all about some ACC hoops. Say SMU, they beat Clemson.
Okay.
They go on and beat Louisville.
All right.
Then they lose to Duke in the championship. Are they in?
Those are two super big quad one wins. I don't know. I think, and they're also neutral site as well
Because they're not even next four out.
They're not even on the list. I don't know. I think they have to win the whole thing personally.
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, if you go on and beat Clemson and beat Louisville, that's like the number 10 and the number 14 team, like back to back. So I don't, because none of the other teams on this list, besides maybe Texas or Oklahoma, can make some noise like that just because they play in the SEC.
Or Wake.
Yeah. So I don't know.
SMU's another team.
I don't think it'll happen though.
Yeah, I don't either. SMU's another team that had a sort of a fall off, man, because Carolina jumped them and Wake Forest in the ACC rankings. So I don't know what happened to them at the end of the year. Oh, they lost their star player. I know we played them without their star player.
SMU, really? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, was it Booby? Yeah, that's his name. That's his nickname, right? Yeah,
it was.
No, I think his name is Boopy.
Yeah, no.
He's from Wake.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a transfer.
We played him. We played him without Boopy.
Boopy.
But
He played Wake Forest without him also.
yeah, so
Okay.
that might be a reason why that SMU's fall off was like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They kind of screwed themselves over because at one point they were in the last four bye. I remember us looking at that at one point.
It's a shame because they don't have a quad one win the whole season. I don't think.
Oh yeah, they
I
don't.
think they're like 0-7 against quad one.
They don't. I remember
So I think
that
that's
now.
what's really going to hurt them unless they win the ACC championship. So
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
All the bubble is something like either the bubble's hit or miss. Because with the bubble, like say SEC tournament happens and a team wins it like out of nowhere. I mean, one of these teams gets screwed over. It happened with NC State last year. They screwed over one of the bubble teams. So it's hard to call with this because of just teams can be a bid stealer. So I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest things in sports to think about.
Yeah, last team I wanted to talk about for the bubble, and we can move on to something else, is Oklahoma. If Oklahoma loses to Georgia, I think they play at 9:30, so pretty soon. If they lose to Georgia, are they still going to get in, or does Texas take their spot?
Texas takes their spot.
Even though Oklahoma just beat them?
Yes, because Oklahoma has too many losses. And losing the first round of SEC tournament. I mean, Texas just won against Vandy.
Yeah, and Vandy's in the tournament. Yeah, so that's a quad one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Oklahoma has too many losses this year. I think they have 12 or 13.
I think it's 13.
13, yeah.
Maybe even 14. I don't know.
I just really don't think Oklahoma's that good, personally. I think Texas jumps them if they lose tonight against Georgia, and especially if Texas keeps making noise in the tournament.
Jeremiah Fears is tough, though. If you guys know who that is, their point guard for Oklahoma. He's a projected top 10, top 15 pick. He's nasty. I don't know.
I'm looking at some scores here from night.
Yeah.
Just to tell the crowd.
Oklahoma's definitely a team to look out for if they lose tonight.
Baylor won tonight against Kansas State. Stanford beat Cal tonight.
Stanford, okay. So they're moving on.
Oh, wow. Navy got blown out. American U in March Madness.
Wow. Is that their conference championship?
Yeah.
Wow, American.
Oklahoma, though, is one of those teams absolutely got hit by a train and fell off a cliff. I mean, going into conference play undefeated, and now they're might just barely scrape in. But because how many games have they lost?
Like 13 or 14.
Let me look real quick.
They started off really hot. They came off beating Michigan, going into conference play, and they looked really good.
Okay, they've lost 12.
Oh, you're good.
They've lost 12.
Oh, they've lost 12. Okay, so yeah, they started off the season really hot. They were looking like a team that could really make some noise in the SEC, and then they just kind of totally fell off a little bit. Like they probably lost their first 4 or 5 SEC games.
They did lose to Texas this year.
Yeah. They lost to Texas earlier this year, so they drew in regular season play. But I don't know.
They killed in their out of conference, bro.
They did. They killed in out of conference. So I don't know. I feel like maybe they should get the benefit of the doubt, given that they did well in non-conference play, and they just beat Texas. I don't know. It's going to be a tough decision, especially if some of these other teams like Wake Forest, Dayton, or Cincinnati's out. They're done. Or I don't know if Boise State and Colorado State are still in, but yeah.
Ohio State's done, like we said. I do want to talk about one team that won their conference tournament tonight, McNeese. That is one team I don't want Clemson to see at all. This year, the two quad one teams that they faced, we talked about it earlier, Will. Who was it?
They played Mississippi State and Alabama.
Mississippi State, they lost by 2 points to, and Alabama, they only lost by 8.
Yeah, really close games. McNeese, Will Wade is legit. This guy's probably one of the best coaches out there right now, and he's been getting a lot of noise about going to NC State. So, he's been really successful. They just won their conference, and they did last year, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Did they make the tournament last year? I can't remember. Maybe it was just regular season champs, but... But yeah, they're a really good team.
What you know about McNeese?
I gotta be honest, not that much. But coach going to NC State, so
yeah, true. I like that.
That's all I know from Saturday's Best.
Saturday's Best.
Yeah, that's the word right now. That's the word.
Did y'all see the Brad rumors
about what?
Brad Brownell?
Yeah.
About where?
Him. Indiana wants him.
Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana wants Brad. They asked him about it in a press conference today. He gave a really
They asked him about it in a press conference.
He gave a really good answer too.
What did he say?
Said he's not leaving.
Dude, he's building something special.
No. Go.
Oh! I was just saying he's building something special. This is his best season he's had by far, and he just took him to an Elite Eight last year. I mean, I think he's just going to keep sticking with Clemson. I don't see why he would leave.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to like Dabo Sweeney in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's like had the success that Dabo has, but if he's able to win here and keep the success going and build a basketball program at Clemson, the program belongs to him and him only. So
Right.
and he's doing that so far. And if he keeps winning here, like, why would you leave? Like, this is his program.
Yeah, he's a winningest coach in Clemson history. I think that he knows that he not owes a debt to the school, but he knows after the year that we missed the tournament 2 years ago, when PJ was a junior and Hunter Tyson left for the draft, that fans were calling for him to be fired, man. And actually, me and Ty were one of the were a couple
Yeah,
of
like we weren't that happy, bro.
we're a couple of those fans, just because of how it turned out with like NC State making the tournament, us beating them 3 times. It was brutal, but I think he knows at the same time, hey, like maybe I should have been fired a couple years ago. I need to stay here and prove something to these people, and he's done just that, man. This was historically the best year Clemson has ever had in basketball. Most ACC wins, most regular season wins. They're not, like, even if you lose out the ACC tournament and the tournament, you're not going to have double-digit losses, which is just insane to think about for a Clemson basketball program.
Yeah. Let's hope that does not happen. But,
I agree.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I hope that does not happen. However, I think that Brad will not take that job. He gave a very good answer, actually. He said, I've been coaching here for 15 years now. My daughters grew up around the school, and I just don't think I'm very focused on the players. And that's just the last thing on my mind right now, and I do not want to leave the Clemson basketball program, which makes me feel great.
What if they offer him an insane bag?
Clemson's going to offer the same bag.
Because remember we saw that with the Texas A&M baseball coach. He's like, yeah, I'm not leaving. This is my home. And then he took the money and left. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't think that Brad's that type of guy, though. He's a family man.
I don't think he is. He's a good person.
15 years. I don't.
He's a family man.
Plus, like, never mind. I was gonna say, like, I was like, that's a little different, I guess, because, like, historically Texas is a great baseball program, but then I thought about it as, like, Indiana is, like, one of the best basketball programs ever. So
they're on the struggle bus right now.
I just had to think about that for a sec.
Yeah, Indiana's on the struggle bus right now, though. But I just don't see him.
Yeah, it's like recent.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I just don't think he'll leave.
Well, the thing about Indiana is if they do really well to, like, because their coach is still there, like he's coaching the team. You think if they, like, do really well, they're like, hey, like we see that you're, like, figuring things out. You want to, like, stay. Because he's been with the program a while, too. I don't know his name I about their coach. Like, I'm blank on it. But, like, I don't know. Maybe that could happen.
Yeah. Well, earlier on Saturday's Best, you posted about something about Dan Hurley. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So, Dan Hurley, best coach in college basketball right now. I mean, without a doubt. He just won two March Madness tournaments past 2 seasons, and he just came out on 60 Minutes. He was featured on that show. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's been happening for forever. Whatever. Okay, point is, he said 50% of his team is probably going to enter the transfer portal, and people. And he said that players are already, like, figuring out where they want to go, or they have, like, a clear idea. So, I don't know. That's really concerning. You know, I'm surprised that it's happening to UConn, especially given that he's the best coach in college basketball. He just won 2 March Madness tournaments. And, I mean, they could make a run again this year, too. I don't understand it.
I could not be there right now.
What are your thoughts on this, guys? I really don't know.
I think with Dan Hurley, I don't know why players aren't more committed to his craft and how he, like, gives back to the program. I mean, he turned down the Lakers offer, one of the biggest offers in recent history. And I just don't see why his players stay and just thug it out with I know this year wasn't the best year for UConn, but they still have a chance. I mean, they gave themselves a chance in the tournament. I'm sure they'll make a Big East run as well. I just don't see how players are wanting to leave that. I get if a bag is in front of your face. I don't know. What do you think, Ty?
Well, I was I was a little confused by this comment because I guess players have gone up and told him that. That just
or rumblings. I don't know.
He could just be hearing rumors about. He's probably not listening to all that outside noise. He probably doesn't care about that. He probably has heard from these players specifically, like, hey, like this team wants me. I'm just like want you to know. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. UConn. I mean they haven't had the best season this year, but they're back-to-back natty champs. I just don't know why this would be an issue in season. They're going to make the tournament. They still got plenty of left to play for.
I mean, to make the comment, even some of these players already know where they're going before the tournament, it's just, insane. That's insane.
Yeah, and I don't know. He was just complaining that why is this, happening right before conference tournament play and March Madness. They got to do something about that. It also happens in college football where you can leave right before the big game happens for, the college football playoff or bowl season. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't know. I just think it totally demotivates the players and it kind of makes them think about all the amenities they're going to get at this other school rather than focusing in the moment on the tournament. So I think that's a big issue.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm just from a coaching standpoint. I kind of think he should have kept that comment to himself. Because now, regardless of what the players are thinking, I feel like the media is just going to make a lot of stories about this.
Blow it out of proportion.
This might be on the team's mind during conference tournament and March Madness. So, personally, I would have just kept it to myself and just dealt with that after I either lost or either won again. Who knows?
That's a great point. I like that point a lot. I think it brings too much controversy for this time right now. I mean, some of these players are the biggest game of their career. You have seniors that are fighting for their last game. So I think that's a great point that you just brought up. And I think, I know he's a coach that loves to speak his mind, but maybe that's one thing he should have held back on.
Yeah, I feel like regardless, so if this kind of stuff is actually true and it happens, I feel like they're just going to reload in the portal already because I feel like most people want to play at UConn for him. And I'm sure they have a really good recruiting class. I am not very knowledgeable about their recruiting this offseason and who they have coming in, so I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah. So next topic we want to talk about is the final AP poll reactions. Duke's number 1 now.
Yep.
Auburn drops. Clemson top 10. What all are we thinking here, Ty?
I love it, dude. First time Clemson's been in the top 10 since who knows when.
Yeah.
Growing up a Clemson fan,
I think it's 85.
Yeah, growing up a Clemson fan, it's a dream come true. It's hard to believe, to be honest. Yeah. And then Duke taking the 1 spot, I agree. I think they're the best team in college basketball when they're playing at their best. I know everyone likes to say they play in the ACC, but they're beating everyone by 30. Right. Carolina the other night, they were giving them some heavy punches, and they took it well and withstood it, and then eventually knocked them out. And I think a lot of other teams, top teams in the SEC, if they're at Carolina in a game like that where RJ Davis or someone's going off, I think they end up losing. The way Duke handled that game was fantastic. So they're doing everything they're supposed to do. They just got to keep it up in March.
Even Auburn dropping the 3 is crazy. They've been number 1 all year. And for Houston to jump them like that, which I think, it's deserved. Auburn's lost, They lost 2 games that week. 2 games. They lost 1 to Alabama on the buzzer beater. And then who'd they lose to else?
A&M.
A&M, yeah. Houston's a dang good team, so I really love that spot for Houston. Cryer is really good.
Yeah, he's nasty.
But Johnny Broome did all he could last week. He's one of he's the second best player in the country, in my opinion, the Cooper Flag. But I think it's just crazy a team being number 1 all year can slip up just twice like that, just drop 2 spots.
Yeah, I think it's valid that they're there, though. Duke and Houston have been playing very consistently. Auburn's kind of slipped up a little bit, but they'll be ready for the tournament, no question. St. John's at 6, I like that a lot. They've been staying at that spot for a while. And Michigan State at 7, I know people don't like that, but honestly, I think it's fine because I think best case scenario they're a 2 seed, and their ceiling is probably the best 2 seed. I don't think they're better than Duke, Houston, Auburn, or Florida, in my opinion, or Alabama. So I think they're going to stay there, which is fine for me, in my opinion. Tennessee at 8, I think that's all right. They did beat Alabama, so maybe you could argue that they flip-flop. I don't know. Texas Tech is fine. Clemson at 10, like you said, it's awesome. It's huge news.
Yeah, right now I think a lot of people has Clemson as the last 4 seed. I don't entirely get that. I think they should be better than that. Excuse me. I hope they do really well in the ACC tournament and somehow go up into a 3 seed. That would be awesome.
If they win the ACC, I feel like they're definitely a 2 seed. Oh, sorry, take it out.
I was just gonna say what you said, but if we can say like beat Duke again and win the ACC championship, are we a 2 seed?
Yes. I think you are. I mean, they're number one team.
I feel like it's definitely certain.
Yeah, they're number 1 team in the country right now. I mean, you go through SMU, who at a neutral site, it is still a quad 1 win. You go through Louisville, who is at a neutral site, who is what's that say right there? 14.
For Louisville?
Yeah, 13.
13. Yeah.
Number 13 team in the nation. That is another quad 1 win, and you beat them. And then you go through the number 1 team in the country and beat them. That is 2 seed written all day.
100%.
I'm just trying to. I mean, personally, it would be hard for it would be hard for a committee to give them a 2 seed though. But I personally think they should be a 2 seed if that happens.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if we win the championship.
Yes, if you win the championship, you should be in 2 seed in my opinion. But
it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
But if you just beat Louisville and you go to the championship, I think you should be a 3 seed still because you still have 2 really good wins to get there.
Yeah. There's a couple of the rankings in here I think that aren't very good. I think BYU is higher than 17. They beat Iowa State on the road, and they're like riding an 8-game winning streak going into conference play. So I don't know. I personally think they should be higher than at 17. And I think St. Mary's will drop a little bit just for losing to Gonzaga. Gonzaga and then might flip-flop, honestly.
Yeah, Gonzaga's going to crack the top 25 probably.
100%.
They've had a great year and then top it off, winning their championship, beating St. Mary's. I don't see why not. You're 9 there. Illinois being 24 is very interesting to me.
I really like Illinois in the top 25.
You just got to remember that team. They apparently were injured against Duke, but that Duke team beat them by 40, which is
and it's also sometimes you just have a bad game, like
by 40 though. No, that's not a bad game.
Well, if they're like all injured, but again, Duke's like the best team in the country. They're very good.
That's a beatdown, bro.
That was a neutral site game in Madison Square Garden. Duke's getting all the flack for being in the ACC, saying that Illinois is going to be able to compete with them. That's a game you got to come into ready to play, and they got blown out of the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was like a statement game from Duke. I mean,
because that was a loss. Right,
I know
loss.
Illinois was like unranked at the time, but even people were saying then Illinois is a lot better than teams in the ACC. So people were saying it was going to be a close game, but it was not.
No, not one bit, man. That was Duke coming right after a loss to Clemson as well. So them boys were playing pissed off.
Yeah.
But injured or not a good loss for Illinois.
Right.
But that just shows how good this Duke team can be.
Yep.
It shows their true potential. I don't think they've won by like less than 15 in the past 2 or since they've lost to Clemson, honestly.
Yeah. And Illinois also.
Beat Carolina by 12.
Yeah, it was a road game. That was a big rivalry game. Illinois also just beat Purdue at home. Purdue's very good. Braden Smith, AP All-American. They looked really good in that one. Yakachonis, top 10 pick in the draft, looked nasty. I don't know. I think Illinois is going to be fine in the tournament. I mean, if they match up against a team like Duke again, maybe we could see something crazy happen, but we'll see. I also like Oregon in the top 25 as well.
I wanted to talk about them. Oregon is a sneaky team in their conference tournament.
Yep.
A lot of people kind of underrate them. Or actually, they do underrate them. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That it's a very sneaky team in their tournament.
Yep.
They have right now plus 1,500 odds, which is great odds for a team that's 23rd in the nation, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So Duke's a very good team. They have so many quad 1 wins this year. I think they have the second most out of anybody. It's in the double digits now. They actually they play tomorrow. I forgot against who.
Is it Michigan State?
No. They play Indiana tomorrow. Here we go. They play Indiana at 12.
Indiana, yeah.
I think that's going to be a beatdown from Oregon.
Indiana's got to win that, right?
They need to, yeah. Because Oregon's a lock for the tournament.
Yeah, they have so many quad 1 wins. It's not even
they beat Alabama
close.
earlier this year.
Yeah. And then big game tomorrow too. I know we're getting off track a little bit here. Is Iowa State and BYU.
Another big game. It's a
Great
rematch between the two of them.
Great game right there. Iowa State, my boy Max, he bet on them for them to win their conference tournament. Had great odds, plus 650. They're a dang good team. Yeah, they're really good. I was happy when Clemson jumped them this week. I'm surprised Maryland did actually too.
Yeah, the last team I wanted to talk about in this top 25, for me, you guys go for it. I think Michigan should be out of the top 25. I think they've been looking terrible lately.
Man,
personally.
I think they're awful. This whole year I've been saying Michigan. All I've been hearing is Michigan this, Michigan that. Danny Wolf isn't all that. And you know it's true. He's been playing not like he should. I mean, at all. For a 7-footer, his athleticism the way he is not playing like the way he should. And I just don't think Michigan's all that. I think that's a team that's on upset watch the first round. They're just on a steep decline right now.
Yeah, the latest I heard about Michigan this weekend was it was Michigan State's senior day, and all I saw them do was just stand on the Spartan so they couldn't kiss it.
Man,
That's all I heard about them.
They're
Nothing
all
good.
butthurt that they suck. I mean, they're just not good. I'm surprised they're still ranked because, I mean, they've lost like 5 out of their last 6 games, and they haven't even been close either. I mean, it's just, I don't know. They got swept by their rivals this year. I don't know. It's just hasn't been a good scene out there.
They also just lost to Illinois by 20 at home, by the way, a couple games ago. So I don't know why Illinois is not ahead of them. But, yeah, Michigan's not looking too good right now. Hopefully they can turn around in the Big Ten tournament because they need to.
And what's his name? Joe Lunardi?
Yeah.
Get Arizona out of my face, bro. He has Arizona as a 4 seed. They're not even ranked in the regular AP poll. Get out of my face. Arizona. Oh, Clark, Arizona sucks. Caleb Love sucks. It's just not even funny anymore. I don't know if he has them as a 4 seed anymore, but the whole year he's glazed Arizona, and it's been making me so mad, bro. Where are they at? Are they 5 seed? All right, good. They should still not be a 5.
They've been losing games all season.
They should be a 5. Give me
Carolina Arizona matchup.
Yeah, Carolina. Give me Carolina.
Yeah, honestly, give me Carolina, bro.
Dude, Illinois should be in front of Arizona. Like it.
Agreed.
Arizona sucks.
Yeah.
Give me Kansas over them.
Yep.
Didn't Kansas just beat them by 20?
It was a closer game than that, but they have to play each other again in the tournament if they match up.
All right, I hope they do because Kansas is winning that game. I just hate Arizona. Caleb Love is just not good.
Whoa, you never know, bro. He can get hot. He's either 0 for 47 or like 37 for 40. So
He sucks.
Caleb loves.
I don't know.
All right, sorry.
He has owned March before, bro.
He has. He went on that championship run.
Not last year.
No. He went on that championship run with Carolina and beat Coach K his last year and everything, blah, blah, blah. He's 27 now and sucking in college. I mean, I don't know. Sorry. I got on a tangent about Arizona. No, we weren't talking about them.
Speaking of guys in their mid-20s, I want to talk about Chad Baker-Mazara and the Auburn Tigers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he might have another
That's just
year
what I want to
eligibility.
say. Auburn is the best team in college basketball. Probably, you look at the roster top to bottom. If they're playing at their best, they're probably going to win it all. They can match up with Duke. That game could go either way. But, dude, when this team gets punched in the mouth and starts losing, their attitude is awful. And I've been seeing, like, other people say this, but their body language is horrible. And I think Chad Baker-Mazara is the worst one. And he got ejected first round at the NCAA tournament last year against Yale. He just did it again against Alabama. He's been getting texts all season for, like, staring benches down. And at some point, Bruce Pearl's got to step in and be like, dude, you're 25 years old. You cannot be having discipline issues on this team. It's costing the team. And, I mean, Janai Broom, his body language is questionable at times. And other people, I mean, they got to get that figured out before March Madness comes around.
Yeah, I mean, March Madness is one of those things where you can't have your head down because, I mean, teams are coming in hot. If you get down early in a game, I mean, if you're moping throughout the whole game, you're screwed. I mean, you're done for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shown that with plenty of teams throughout the past. Number 1 seeds gotten beat in the past couple years before. Number 2 seeds getting beat. I mean, it shows every year with Kentucky.
Yep.
You just can't go in with a head with what Ty was saying. Like you can't can't go in with a hot head like that. You got to fight for your team, man.
Yeah, especially being 25, you got to be way more mature than that. Speaking of which, do you guys think it's kind of crazy that he's 25 playing in college?
And he has another year.
And he's going to be 26. I mean, that's the world we're in now with college sports. And especially now that JUCO is being changed to where you can keep all your eligibility after you get out of JUCO. Mm-hmm. So we could be seeing guys that are 27, 28 years old maybe, in the next couple years. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just think it's kind of weird. It never used to be like that before NIL and the portal and all that. It used to be you finish college at you're like 22, maybe 23 oldest, and then you're out. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of strange in how you got guys that'll be 27, 28 playing 17-year-olds like Cooper Flagg. So there's like a 10-year age difference. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know.
I agree, Besta. I agree.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. So they develop their frontal lobes like some of these guys have it. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, some guys everyone has like a different situation, and I know some guys I don't know. Some guys might be from like a different country. I think Baker Mazara got to college later than most.
He's from the DR.
Yeah, from the DR. So, I mean, he's old, but I don't think it's like a huge problem in the system. But I think the JUCO rule, that's bogus. Like, what are we doing?
Have you seen about what do you think about adding the just 5 years of college straight up?
That's dumb too. Like, what are we doing?
Because I mean, if you redshirt 6 year.
Yeah, I mean that's why the red shirt is there. So if you get injured or you don't play coming in, you can have that extra year.
They're having like COVID, how it is, how it was.
Yeah, I mean,
but COVID finally ran out. They're trying to find a new way, man.
I know, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy thing about.
Yeah, and lots of players will keep another year of eligibility too if they get hurt mid-season. So that's another thing to consider as well. So I don't know, man. It's all crazy to me.
All right, so one more topic we want to talk about is the conference tournament final predictions. I'm just gonna.
You want to do them rapid fire?
Yeah, I'm rapid firing. I'm going to be the host of this. I'm going to call them out, and y'all are going to tell me who's winning.
Right. So we can't even discuss. We just gotta blurt it out.
You just blurt out.
Ooh.
All right.
All right.
I'm going first.
We're going to go best conference first. ACC.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you go.
Wait, no, that's you. It's you.
You got the mic.
Blurt it out.
Oh, I just gotta blurt it out. Oh, conference champion?
Yeah, conference champion.
I thought we were gonna go game by game.
No.
Give me the Clemson Tigers.
Duke.
Okay. Big Ten.
Illinois.
Michigan State.
Big 12.
Houston.
Give me the Cyclones of Iowa State.
Oh, good one.
If they're fully healthy, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
SEC.
Florida. Chomp, chomp.
Chomp.
Yeah, give me them Gators.
Okay.
I like Walter Clayton. Shout out Swain.
Shout out Swank. Yes.
Yep.
Big East.
St. John's.
I'll take St. John's too. Patino's too good.
Yep.
Patino's world, bro.
American Athletic.
Oh, no, Memphis. Sorry, I got confused for a second.
I'm gonna take Memphis too. PJ Haggerty. Yeah, he's a good player.
I like that. The A10.
Oh, I'm gonna go Dayton.
Okay, I like that.
I would say Dayton too, baby.
I would go VCU.
VCU's
but that's
in that
just,
conference
that's just
as well.
That about wraps it up for the conferences. Like y'all wouldn't really know. Mountain West.
Oh, Mountain West. I'm gonna go San Diego State.
That's New Mexico, right?
Yep.
New Mexico.
The Lobos. I like that. Yeah, that about wraps it up. All these others are no names, man. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry if you go to that college. Nah, but yeah, good rounds. I think for the only one I disagree for the Big 12, I'm going BYU. No, actually, just kidding. Texas Tech. Texas Tech is dang good, man. They're hot right now.
They are good. They are good.
And for the Big 10, give me Oregon.
Wow.
I like
Alright.
Oregon in that. So we'll see. I like y'all's picks.
Wait, who you got winning the ACC?
Clemson.
Yes, sir.
Nah, I got Carolina, bro.
I think Duke's too good right now to be stopped. But I was just gonna say one more thing about Oregon. I think they're gonna beat Michigan State. I don't think Oregon's going to win the whole thing. I think they'll lose to Wisconsin in the next round. But Michigan State, they've been so hot. I just feel like they're going to kind of teeter off a little bit. I mean, we see that a lot with teams where they're so good. They just kind of they have like a double bye as well.
Yeah, we talked about that today.
So I just think they're going to kind of cool off and then they'll be ready for the tournament.
I just want to ask you guys, if Carolina wins tomorrow and they play the Blue Devils, can they win? Or is Duke just going to kill them for a third time?
I think they can win because Carolina in that second game at home, they were in it. They were in it the whole time. They just need an absolute perfect game. They need everyone on their A game. They can't mess up. Duke is that good. They're that good of a team.
They have to play a perfect game. Cadeau can't turn the ball over like he's been doing all season. RJ Davis played really good against them last time. So he's got to keep that up. And Jackson's really got to step it up. And especially their big men, bro. Duke's got some dogs like Malak at their freshman big guy. And Duke's got really good power forwards. A bunch of transfers from really good teams
and veterans like Proctor.
Yeah, I mean they have to play a perfect game. I don't know. I think Duke's gonna steamroll them, in my opinion.
What do you think?
It's tough, man, because we saw last week Carolina can play with them, but like I said earlier, they gave them such a big push, and I thought they were gonna do it, but then Duke kind of took over at the end. And after the game, I'm like, Carolina's just out of juice, so I think Duke's just kind of going to be able to beat them easily the third time. But at the same time, it's tough to be your arch rival 3 times in a row, especially within a month pretty much. And Carolina, they're fighting for their life right now. So I think they're going to come out hot again. And they did today. Like you said, their big man, Van Allen Lubin, he's got to have a perfect game. Jalen Withers has to have a perfect game. He hit 7 threes today. He's going to have to do it if they beat Wake.
Did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, most threes hit by a Carolina player in ACC tournament history.
Wow. Okay.
So, like you said, Cadeau cannot turn the ball over. That's his problem. He gets a lot of assists, but can't do it. And RJ, I think he's just got to keep shooting.
Yeah.
He's got to outplay Cooper Flag.
He was going off, and then they took him out, and then he didn't really see many more shots for the rest of the game. I think even if he's missing, you just got to let it fly.
I agree. I mean, it's the best player on your team. I'm shooting the biggest game of the year, man. So that was our tournament predictions, and that was the last topic we had on the episode. Ty, we really appreciate you coming on. It was a lot of fun, man. Any last words before the tournament starts?
Well, I want to say appreciate y'all boys for having me on. Last words before the tournament starts. Watch out for this Brad ball you're about to see.
Yeah, I love that.
It's good. Starts tomorrow night versus SMU. Come on.
Yep.
Go Tigers.
Love it. Well, appreciate y'all tuning in, man.
We really appreciate having you guys on. Thank you so much for coming on, Ty. First guest, huge milestone. And also, we're not going to be doing a podcast together next time, unfortunately. We're going to both be on our spring break trips. We may actually go to the ACC tournament this weekend, so we'll try and get some film for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely will.
But, we might do a Zoom call over break just to kind of talk about Selection Sunday and first round and round of 68, all of that stuff. So stay tuned.
And be on the watch for our Instagram posts. We can't wait for this time. Like we all said, favorite time of year, so let's do it.
Yep.
Sports Nest Podcast out.
Peace.